Yo, you there, brother? We hear you, brother. We waiting on you to talk.
Absolutely, brother.
What's
Can
going
you hear
on?
me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Very well, bro.
Absolutely. I want to say off top, brother George, and to the other brother on the panel, brother George. I've been following you since I seen you and heard you on the Real Dana show. Much
Right.
respect, much salute. So
Yeah.
off
We're not
top,
going to attack you. We're not going to attack you. We're not going. We just want you to get your opinion. We're gonna come hard, but we ain't going to attack you.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this is what I do. I do this all day. So in reference to brother Russell Wilson and me saying that he on some sucker shit, I stand on that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Sierra, much respect to her, but Sierra was a single mother. We all know that. She had the child with Future. Russell Wilson had no children. He had no offspring when he saved her. I'm using that in quotations. That's some sucker shit because that's not holding a woman accountable. I'm B1 and I'm red pill. You don't hold women accountable by coming to the rescue when they have an offspring by another male that's not taking care of his responsibility. You start your own lineage. So that's number one. That's a beta. That's things that beta males do. You start your own lineage. You don't come and save a woman who has an offspring by another man. So that was his first mistake because you're not holding a woman accountable by doing it. So and he been doing sucker shit ever since. Everything he does is sucker.
So what else did he do that was sucker shit?
What did he do? Did he pay for? He funded something that she just did.
Okay.
Like he bought the rights to her songs. That's what you're gonna talk about, right? He bought the rights to her songs for her.
He bought her masters, right? That's what he did.
Yeah.
That's some sucker shit.
All right, let me
just to be clear, yeah. So what you're saying, by default, by him being with her as a single mother, he was a simp from that moment right there. That's what you're really saying.
And from the inception, off top, and everything else is just a progression of being a simp.
Hold on real quick. D-Red. Hey, D-Red, hit that link and come over to the George Making Experience side so I can give you a wrench. Hit that link, D-Red, and come over to the other side so I can give you a wrench. Let me get T. Kelly a wrench. Yeah, come to the other side, D-Red. Thanks for the Cash App, Leonardo. Yeah, and the Cash App is right there too, man. $ Urban Nerds 2020. Let me break this down. Let me address that real quick. Let me address that. All right. There's a couple flaws in this argument. Like this argument is leaking oil badly. Like the ship is going down. And the problem that we have is a lot of brothers are regurgitating other brothers' talking points, and they're not living in reality. Now, this is the thing, right? A lot of these brothers that's on YouTube that don't have to show and prove, that come and talk this shit, but you don't know nothing about their life. Most of these dudes got babies by women that they not with. They not married. They got children though. But they're the ones spouting these same arguments. Now, this is the thing. Sierra sold 20 million records. Sierra is not a girl living in the projects. Oh, hold on. Let me get you. I got you. Give me a second, Aja. Sierra is not a woman living in the projects that had to live off of him. Sierra is a hardworking woman that could sing, that toured, that did the things that's able to make money to sustain herself. Number two, right? Things that we do when we're young and certain decisions that we make, are we accountable for them? Absolutely. But I don't see him as him saving her. I see him as, because this is the thing. He had the white chick first. She slept with the white girl, slept with his teammate. He got rid of her. He got with this black woman, right? Both of them had some mistakes they made in the past. They both got together. They got 2 more babies together. He has every right without criticism. He has every right without criticism to buy her masters because that's his wife. There is no such thing as saving her. That don't apply to them. See, what I'm saying is there's a proper application to certain things. Now, there's certain arguments that's legitimate, but it don't apply here. It don't apply here. And on top of this, when you got a brother that's not out robbing, not out killing, not out in extramarital affairs, not a brother should keep their mouth off of them. They should shut the fuck up when it comes to these kind of brothers. My thing is, he didn't make her his bed wench. He made her his wife. They've been married for a while now. So is a difference. There's a big difference in this argument. And what I'm saying is you guys is applying everything. But the thing is, I look at the guys that's bringing the argument. I've been married 16 years, holding on, doing certain things. These dudes is making these arguments don't stand up to me because they fucking create single moms. They're not even with the moms. And these the dudes enforcing the arguments. Where your family at? These dudes. Go ahead.
Yeah, much respect. Now, in reference to these dudes or guys on YouTube that are hiding behind avatars, I'm none of them. I got videos with me, and I'll cam up at any moment. I don't hide, and I stand by everything I'm saying. I don't regurgitate nothing that those guys or whoever is saying.
Wait, can I just ask you one question before you go forward? Let me ask you a question. Are you married? Are you married, bro?
No.
Do you have any children?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I can't speak for them. I'm not regurgitating anything. I move in brass tacks, and I move off what our ancestors taught us. Those like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Neely Fuller, Dr. Joy DeGruy. I don't have to name them all. Women, Black women in particular, need to hold other Black women accountable. Black men need to hold other Black men accountable. Now, in reference to Russell and Sierra, him marrying her, that was an admirable thing by marrying her. But again, she was a single mother. He didn't have any offspring. So just off the inception of that, that's a simp move. I got respect for him. That's a simp move. And the Masters thing, that was a simp move because she could have bought her own Masters. Was there any?
Oh, wait, I gotta stop you right there. Wait a minute. See, because this is the part where it's dangerous. If you want to say him a simp move marrying her, you know what? We'll argue with that. Once they're married and they have children, you don't have a right to step in and say what they're doing in their marriage. If he's buying something for his wife as a simp move, that's not your right. And what I'm saying is that's real dangerous when you do that. What I'm saying is now for years now, this has been his right. He has every right. See what I'm saying is once they're married, right? They're partners now. They're moving on one accord. Teamwork make the dream work. If you're not married, you can't speak on that. You don't have the right to speak on that from a marriage. If you give your opinion to say, well, he married her, that's a simp move. We can argue that. But what we can't argue is if I go and I buy my wife's, something that's worth money, I buy it. I can't no nigga call me a simp for doing that. That's my wife. That nigga should never be speaking on what's going on in the black man's marriage.
Hold on, George. One second.
Hold on, I got you, Rich. I'm gonna give it to you. Hold on, Rich. What I'm saying is, we can debate whether him marrying her is a simp move, but in his marriage, as a black man, you shouldn't be speaking on that. That's a pure violation, and that's disrespect to another black man. That's not your business. That's not your business. That's his wife. That's not your wife.
I agree. I don't speak on it. Somebody brought it up, so I just made a comment. I don't have no videos talking about that. That's not even none of my business.
No, but what I'm saying is, brother, is that's dangerous talking points because there's other brothers that may be married, and you teach this shit to other black men where now all of a sudden we work together. So now if I got more money than my wife, all of a sudden I shouldn't be spending, or vice versa. Listen, if you ain't married, then you don't understand the nuances of what marriage entails. That's just, like I said. Now, if that was just some chick he was fucking and he did that, I would probably agree with you. But not his wife who he got children with. Black men should be speaking on that, man. You doing us a disservice when you do that, brother.
Okay, well, let me say this. I'm going to refrain from voicing my opinion on that. So I can't speak on that, like you said. I'm not married. My parents been married for 36 years. All my family members are married, but I'm not married. I can't speak on it. So I'll just digress when it comes to that.
That's all I'm saying. That's my argument with that. That's all I'm saying. That's unfair. That's unfair. And it's actually disrespecting that man who's trying to do the right thing. So now, which side of the argument we have? One way you a simp if you're doing this, but then if you got a black man trying to do the right thing, and you got a sister that's rocking with him, he's still a simp. Like, at what point is he not a simp? Like, come on. Like, we got all kinds of dysfunction in our community. Like, we can't have both sides. I'm gonna tell you why, brother. Because for some of the legitimate arguments that brother has, it actually waters it down. Come on in, Richie.
But my thing is this, yeah. If somebody is a single parent, are you telling me that that disqualifies them to be in a relationship ever
No,
again?
no,
Or
sir.
who?
No, sir.
But who's with them if they don't have children? Or is that the prerequisite that if you don't have kids, you definitely can't be with someone who's got kids? I don't understand you. I'm trying to understand your reasoning when you
I'll
say
explain.
from the start it was admirable, because you make it seem like a charity case type situation, like there was no benefit. She's just done dirty, nothing good going for her type of thing. And besides that, again, as an individual, he's found something in her that he obviously likes. But the way you're talking is if because she's got this child already from a previous relationship, that automatically disqualifies her and him from being together. Is that what you're telling me?
If he had offspring, then they would be equally yoked. What I'm saying is, I'm seeing this on the grassroots, and it's a very serious dysfunction in our community, particularly in DC, but everywhere. When a man or a woman already has an offspring and they come into a relationship with an individual who doesn't have offspring, there's an imbalance. I have never seen it where it hasn't been. Now, what I have seen is that smart men like my dad, they get with a woman who was a single mother, and then they create offspring with her, like Russell did. So that's why I'm saying that it was admirable. He put a ring on her finger, then he duplicated himself through her. But coming in the gate, she had offspring. Coming in the gate.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
Because see, this is the hypocrisy of the community that I always talked about, right? And I'm gonna say it again. Some of our arguments brothers have is legitimate. I'm not gonna take that off the table with some of the arguments the brothers have. I'm a black man in the black community. I know some of the fucked up shit women do. I get it. But what I'm saying is y'all water it down because we don't shroud this shit in reality. A lot of the houses you niggas grew up in, step pop brought that. A lot of y'all was raised by stepfathers. And I'm not saying that I have all the end all to the dysfunction of the black community, but way before our generations, you had single moms and stepfathers stepping in and different things. So what I'm saying is this: if I'm not gonna call my brother a simp for meeting them, because not damn near 70% of the black women in the black community, when you meet her, she might have a child. So now you meet
this is what I'm saying. Oh, sorry to cut you, Jude. Let me just say this here.
Go ahead,
yeah, again, like you was about to say, one, it's a common situation. But let me ask the brother this: is it more dysfunctional to cut out that section of our black community, in the sense that if a woman's got a child, she can't, be with someone who doesn't have a child, and we just leave them to they're banished to only a certain sector? Or is it less dysfunctional that if you're a constructive male and you love the woman and you're gonna
You broke up, Richie.
Yeah, you broke up, brother.
I'll come out until we come back in. All I'm saying is this: listen, Red Pill, you have every right to have your opinion if you don't want to deal with a single mom. You got every right. And watch this though. Some of these women out here that's running wild in our community that got 4 and 5 different children by multiple men before 23 and all that kind of stuff, it adds to a greater dysfunction. But I'm not going to argue that. But just because a woman got a baby don't means that she's out of the realm of being in a relationship. No, we can't, because in our community. Go ahead.
I didn't say that, but go ahead. I never said that. I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be real quick. I'm saying that from what I see, a woman with an offspring is better and is healthier for her to be in a relationship with a male with an offspring. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But that's your opinion. What I'm saying is you got many examples of great relationships in the Black community where two people got together. They met each other at a job. They met each other at the gym. They met each other outside, where she might have had a baby. She had a baby when she was young. She in school. She met a man. They got married. They did this. So I just think that we shouldn't be making everything just one thing, because the Black community is not just in one dysfunctional setting. You got many different Black people doing different things, bro. So you might got a dude that had a baby when he was 17. So that means he's disqualified for having this girl? No, it all depends on the individual. And we shouldn't be applying just everything to everybody. That's unfair. And we actually do ourselves a disservice. And when we talk the way we do, we make other groups believe that this is how we are. And no, we're not. Just because you didn't have a baby, then you go get with a woman that don't. But that don't give you the right to speak on every woman that got a baby or call a nigga a simp. I think that's unfair. That's unfair. Because just because you ain't got a baby don't mean that you ain't dysfunctional or do dysfunctional shit. Because even if you don't got a baby, but you still running around just sticking your dick in different women, when you feel like it, you still adding to the dysfunction. I call that shit out too. You just like, I don't have a baby, but I fuck bitches whenever I want. You actually adding on to the shit. You taking part of this shit too. Because you're not making no woman better. You're not making an honest woman. You fulfilling your shit. But none of us want to talk about that. Because I say that shit to the women too. Everybody out here just no account of just doing what they want to do. But if you don't got the baby, it's okay. Nah, man, I don't subscribe to that shit. All that is dysfunctional.
Neither do I, Brother George. I scream on hypersexual and dysfunctional Negroes daily. I just did it. I was just on another brother's had a debate on another brother's channel last week, and I was doing that for an hour. I do that online on my page all the time. Like Negroes who spread their seed any which way, they're a problem. They're a huge problem. And they need to be.
Hold on 1 second. Topaz, come up. Topaz, come up. That's the link right there. Hold on. Let me let the brother Leonardo in for a minute, and then brother Leonardo, come on. I'll let a couple people come on, speak, and then drop back down so other people come up. I'm gonna let you come back in, Red Pill.
Oh, okay, yo, you want me come on out?
No, you stay up. You stay up. I want you to stay up. Leonardo, you there?
All day long, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, man? You want to speak? You want to say something, brother?
What's up, Leonardo?
Basically, I want to say much love and respect to you, my brother, what you doing. And much respect to the people in the chat and on the panel. You know what I mean? Man, you from Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, I'm from Philly. I'm from Southwest.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia, my brother. I moved out to Georgia, but I'm gonna let you know I'm for you, my brother. I support what you're doing. I sent you a little something on the Cash App.
I seen it. Thank you, brother.
Because I love the kids, man. I love what you're doing for the kids, and we need to learn how to support each other more than all this confusion. I come in peace with love and respect, my brother. So I want to touch on a couple other things, but I'll be quiet for now.
All right, and I want for the chat, I want people to understand, 2020, me and Richie, we doing different things. We can disagree with each other, but you notice when the brother came up, we ain't cuss at him. We ain't calling him out his name. We're not howling. We're not screaming. We just trying to do different things. We can disagree because in the Black community, we all got different viewpoints on certain things. We correct things. We talk it out. The brother is entitled to have his opinion. And guess what? He's entitled to have his opinion and come up and still don't get cussed out by me and Richie because it's his opinion. We disagree and we're going to address it, but we have to learn how to engage as Black people with each other. It's okay that we engage. I want to bring my sister in, Topaz. Come on in, Topaz.
Hey, George, making long time no see.
Long time.
Hello, sir.
Well, and I want to say I like your channel because I think you do the same thing that I'm trying to do. I care about the community. I haven't given up yet. I might have to say something with tough love, but I'm going to talk about men and women. And so I feel like you're handling the men today. And I came up here because I know the pushback that people are giving about Sierra, right? I get where they're coming from. I can understand that. What I'm hearing them say is that by him marrying a single mom, that's telling other single moms that what they're doing is okay. Well, here's the thing, right? Sierra is a different type of single mom. She did not need him to pay. Like, she had baby Future, right? Meaning she gave birth to him, but she also made enough money to where she could care for baby Future if Russell Wilson didn't show up. So I don't think she's using him. You
Right.
know, she brought a kid, but she brought exactly, she brought other things. And I feel like for women, you know, I also hear the other side where they say if you have one kid, that's way different, right? But see, here's the thing: if you have one kid, before you make another one, you need to be making sure that you are able to take care of yours. I got divorced, and before I started dating, I was able to care for our daughter, whether he was there or not. Now, he eventually got on board and started doing what he needed to do. But if he never did, I didn't date until I got to a place where I could take care of my child reasonably. Or if I couldn't and a man showed up and he's doing all of those things, I knew that I needed to be respectful to him. So I hear the arguments that y'all are having, and I am telling women that, you know, if you want hope for your child, like, you have to think about your child. If you're going to get a good man that's going to be there, that's going to step in, that's going to teach and guide your child in addition to making provisions that you couldn't make, then you do need to respect that. You don't get to have an attitude like this. There's this YouTube video going around where this lady's calling a guy a loser because he didn't want to meet her 5 kids on their first date. There's another one that, you know, like, just that's craziness, right? These are outliers.
Topaz, but see, that's what I'm saying. That applies to Red Pill's argument. That applies.
Right.
All I'm saying is we can't put that argument on everybody. That don't go
exactly.
That don't go to every woman. So what I'm saying to my brothers is a lot of the arguments is legitimate, but you can't put that on everybody. And when you disrespect, so that's what I'm saying, Topaz, watch this. So now Grant Hill comes out and professes his love to Tamia. Will he be a simp? Now, he had way more than Tamia. Is he a simp for marrying Tamia?
No, because she has, like, she's not broke. Like, these guys, they're okay. So here's the thing about adulthood and maturity. When you meet somebody, part of your job as an adult is you drawing on your past experiences and your knowledge, and also your reasoning skills to discern whether this is going to be a good thing for you. Like you were mentioning earlier, you could have a woman with no kids, but she out here laying up under any nigga that's willing to lay over her.
Thank you.
She ain't got no money. She got a bunch of STDs. But you're going to take her to the gynecologist, clean her up, buy a bunch of clothes and stuff, and then say, oh, well, this is better because now I can have my own first kids. But look at look at the type of kids you're getting ready to have. And so I'm making that reaching, long, stretching argument because that's what y'all sound like when y'all try to, you know, compare Keisha from the block that, you know, the only thing she brings to the table is a big booty and 3 kids versus Sierra, who's bringing money, status, fame. Because get this, her being a single mother, she's also a household name. If Russell Wilson needed her to be
real quick, Topaz, I want you and then Red Pill to address this question because I think it's legitimate. Well, I'm gonna let Red Pill do it, and then you come in after Red Pill.
Can I finish that sentence?
Yeah, because I was in.
And it's quick. This is the thing. Sierra, if she needed to be a first lady to do something, like let's say Russell Wilson, right? You know, rich people, they like to start nonprofits or whatever. Sierra can bring, you know, help to be able to do that. She's not the same. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, go ahead, y'all.
Let's address it. And I'm glad I got you up here because I know you'll speak on it fair. Like, you don't just take sides with your woman. The problem is mothers are raising their sons to accept and marry women with kids. Red Pill, speak on that, brother. Because that's part of the argument you bring into the table. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, my opinion on that is that's true in a lot of instances. Now I'll give you a personal. Like I said, my mom was a single mother before she met my dad. My dad married her 37 years ago, and then had me and my little sister. But I'll say this: my mom, and I got 7 aunts. None of them, they all told me, and 5 of them were single mothers. They all told me to basically to be very careful with getting into a relationship with a woman who already has children. Now, my last 2 relationships were with single mothers. I don't have any disdain or anything like that. I love, you know, all of our women, all of our people, but I have noticed an imbalance in the relationship just based on it. I've noticed an imbalance. I don't want to get too in depth on it because our brother Black Ice is back up. But I've noticed an imbalance. I've seen it. brother. I always see it, and I've seen that it's been more productive when a woman or man gets into a relationship with the opposite sex who is equally yoked. If they have a child, then they find one with a child. I've seen better balance and more productivity.
Okay. What's your opinion on this comment, Topaz?
Well, here's the thing. I think that the problem is that mothers are raising their sons, like, if it's a problem if they're raising their sons to go look for women with kids because it's selfish. The only reason a mother would literally have that, out of all of the other stuff, because I did a parenting stream the other day, right? Out of all the other jobs that you have as a parent, if you're raising your son to go look for single mothers because somehow that makes you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, or like, you know, what are you trying to, like, save the next generation of single mothers? Because you're already grown. So your son wouldn't be going out dating and finding you anyway. So I think it's foolish and it's illogical and it doesn't get them what they want. So yes, that is a problem. But to accept and marry women with kids, it depends. There are plenty of men out there who don't have a problem with that, and that's a grown man choice. Now, it's also the grown man choice to walk away if, you know, the mother that has the kids or whatever is not raising the kids to respect him as the person that stepped in when their father wouldn't.
Let me ask you, Topaz, because what I notice is a pattern in our community. What I'm seeing is black men are downing and criticizing black men for this, but then black women are actually criticizing black men if black men stand up and say, hey, I don't want to marry or be with a single mom. I see a black man, so I'm trying to figure out, because see, my things, when I met my wife, she had a child, right? I come from a different era. I didn't even think about that shit. It was just, I seen her. I wanted to be with this woman, and we just get it. But what I'm saying is, if my brother turned around and say, hey, I don't want to deal with a girl with a child, he'll actually get disrespected by sisters, but then to get disrespected by brothers for being with one. So I'm trying to figure out where that happy medium in the middle, where can we just make our decisions based off of what we got and people respect it? Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to word that, Topaz.
No, I think what you're asking is, like, men can't win for losing. Either they choose a single mom and they get disrespected by one gender, or either they say they don't want to and they get disrespected by the other.
In today's time, though, because when I was back then, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. But what I'm saying is, Russell Wilson is being disrespected. But if I come out and say, hey, I'm not dating a single mom, some sisters, not all, but some sisters will attack me for that, because that's just my choice, right? That's why I told the brother, that's your choice. You gotta. I'm not going to fight you on a choice that you have, because you have every right to have that choice, right? Because I don't know if I might want my son to do that. I don't know. It depends on the situation. But we can't label that to everybody, because you got some sisters out here that's working hard, doing good for themselves. They still, just because she had a baby, don't mean that she don't come from good stock. We can't apply that to everybody. Just because a brother went out and made a baby don't mean listen, the whole black community ain't just full of shit. You got a lot of decent black people in the communities, man.
Most.
And I think that we as black people need to understand that we got handed a raw deal, and so we got to play the cards that we're dealt. And in the beginning, it's going to look messed up. It's not going to be as fun. But if we put in the work and effort, we could get it to where we want it to be. We just ain't taking that. And you know, one of the steps to that is, here's the thing. Every grown person got their reason. I don't think that anybody should be getting disrespected if they say that they choose not to date single mothers, because why are you trying to force him into something that he doesn't want to do? Now, I will have a problem with it, but ain't nothing I could do about a grown man choice. If not just because he say he don't want to date single mothers, but if he either has a bunch of kids by different moms and then says he doesn't want to do that, because see, to me, leave the women out of it. How about as a man? This dude is going around putting a baby in everybody, leaving them out there for y'all, and then he gonna go pick a woman with no kids that could have been with a man with no kids. So he's taking something from y'all,
right? But that's what I was speaking on, and that's why I said I want to segue it back to Russell, because we going into. I want to segue it back to Russell and why this is important. Because like I said, you got brothers a lot of brothers got legitimate arguments. A lot of sisters got. See, this was the thing. You got sisters online that got legitimate arguments about dysfunctional men. You got brothers on here. That's why I said, listen, Obsidian, Kevin Samuels, a lot of brothers, everything they say ain't wrong. We might disagree with them at times, but I'm not going to sit here and just be disingenuous and say that everything Obsidian say is wrong. It's not.
Right.
It's legitimate arguments on the table on both sides. But this is the thing.
They wouldn't be able to say it if it wasn't happening. So if you don't like it, then don't do it.
Right. So, but this is the thing, though, Topaz and Red Pill. When you see a decent brother like Russell Wilson, and you listen, sometimes we can't criticize those brothers when we got all these dysfunctional brothers we talk about. You got a brother that's trying to do something decent. So now he got the woman. They're not in the tabloids every day for arguing, fighting, drugs, getting locked up on none of that shit. They're not in the tabloids for none of that. So why would we down this? See, this is not T.I. and Tiny. They don't have that. So why?
I didn't think about that.
And see what I'm saying, brother, is
and I want to add on to that, George, when you finish too.
Yeah, because we do other young brothers at this service that's watching us. And then what I'm saying, it waters down our arguments for things that we do got legitimate gripes about. I'm going to leave Russell Wilson alone because I ain't got to worry about Russell Wilson shooting my son or trying to sleep with my daughter. I'm going to leave him alone. He can't. How's he a simp? He can't be a simp. But once we start calling him a simp, then where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line?
Well, we call anybody a simp that ain't out there being Future. See, that's the problem with our community. If he was acting like Future, nobody would be calling him a simp. That's what they call a player. And I think that that's the problem in the black community is that they think that Future is a player and they think that anybody that acts like Russell or LeBron is a simp.
I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said it. But this is what I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying to you, Red Pill. Him buying his wife's masters. Man, listen, if I was a multi-millionaire, I'd buy my wife whatever the fuck she want. And can't nobody...
Him buying her masters is going to help him. Because then, like, whatever, I don't know what the masters is in, but she can do something that could bring in money or something to their empire. Like, that's, when you have that degree, that piece of paper, I know y'all don't like it. I know y'all feel like that's the white man's education and all other stupid stuff I've heard before. But that paper matters to the people with the money. Okay? Yep. They like to see those papers. So him buying her that is still going to benefit him. See, y'all out here making broke people choices. He's not worried about paying that. That was drops in a bucket to him. He ain't spend no whole bunch of money on his master.
That's a business move. That's a business. But this is the
and it's been a double back for him.
Yeah, but this is the thing though. Him even marrying her was still his choice. Was still his choice. That was his. And what I'm saying is, I'm telling brothers, you can't have both sides of the argument. You can't call a decent brother a simp, but then talk about the Pookies and Ray Rays that these women are choosing.
Facts.
You can't do both.
You're right. Facts. And I gotta take that. That's real. Because I didn't even think about. I didn't factor that in. So like I said, I retract that. I don't have no disrespect for Russell, but I retract that. I'm gonna keep. I can't speak on his merge or what he does with his finances because merge is a business. So I can't speak on that. And you're right because he's stand up. He's doing the responsible thing. So you're right.
And this is the thing though. We're not watching the news where they say Russell Wilson and Sierra was caught in the car with cocaine or Russell Wilson slapped his wife. No, this is what we see: a decent black family. They had 2 babies. They living their life, and so now, if I was to go live right now, or my wife came and stepped right here to me, and I said, "Baby, I love you, man. I would never want to lose you. If I ever lost you, my world would crash in." Niggas would call me a bitch, a pussy, a simp, and everything. But this is my wife. I'm evenly yoked.
And you guys have built things together that she is an integral part of. Of course, your life is going to be extremely different. It might crumble a little bit if she was gone because you have put things into her and she has put things into you and y'all have built something. You think about it in the business terms, right? Even when you have a business partner that leaves, you got to then rebuild stuff. You got to get back to where you were at first. I don't understand why that's such a bad thing for you to let it be known. And I'm sure if you feel comfortable enough to say that, she's creating a home for you where you feel safe enough to say that and express that. And
I'm going to say this too. Brothers, you entitled. If you don't want to be with a single mom, I'm not going to debate you on that. That's your right. I'm not going to come up here and tell men what they should or shouldn't do. All I'm saying is,
Right.
but be leery of just getting into regurgitating and getting to every argument, because that don't apply to everybody, and we do ourselves a disservice, because you might got some, because in our communities, listen, we got a lot of single moms, and we got a lot of people that meet people that do certain things. Hold on a second, somebody, Richie, take over real quick. My bell ringing.
Okay.
Go ahead, Topaz. I don't know where Richie at.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say something. Go ahead, sister.
Okay.
No, you go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything to say. He was just saying, like, you know, since Richie wasn't there to take over, that he was gonna be right back.
I got you. What I just didn't want to interrupt you. No disrespect. That's all. I was going to say real quick. Like, I'm 50 years old. I'm basically a disabled vet. I'm 55. Excuse me. I didn't have my first child to I was 50 years old, and basically I was with my wife my first wife who had 2 children, and them children still love me and call me daddy today. I left my wife for a younger woman because I wanted to have my first child, and my wife is 22 years younger than me. I'm 55. She just turned 33, and we've been together for 15 years with 2 kids. And like George said, I say the same thing about my wife because I know she got my back. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say this real quick, that because I see George is back. You know, us black men ain't learned how to be men till we 40, 45 years old. You know, I respect what Russell Wilson did because he's stepping up as a man. And that's the same thing I did, stepped up as a man. My job in my lifetime to make sure that my wife and daughter don't have to do nothing after I'm gone. They can sit back and reap the benefits of my work. And I give it back to George.
Facts.
Well, can I say this first? Can we talk about how the fact that that's a problem in the black community, that black men don't get into manhood until they're in their 40s?
That's just my opinion.
Go ahead,
No. I know why.
No,
I'm just saying that that's a bigger problem. We like that, to me, is the reason why we have single mothers. Because here's the thing: everybody want to go back to this time where women knew that they were never supposed to sleep with anybody, let alone have a kid, before they got married, right? Well, see, there was also, you know why that happened? You know what supported that? The actions of the men. They were the ones in control of society, and they held each other responsible. Like when I was telling you about the example earlier, how this guy's going around impregnating all the women that y'all might possibly be able to marry, and he's not gonna marry none of them and still get a childless woman. That's not fair to other men. So in the past, it used to be, okay, you knocked her up, you gonna marry her. That's what you're gonna be at. You're gonna sit down, you done right now. And we gonna still date these other women out here. That men used to hold each other accountable for that. Forget the women. It wasn't about the women. I bet right now people would call those men simps, but they weren't simps. What they were saying was, dude, look, everything ain't for you. You selfish, and you in the way of me building my legacy. So there was actions of the men, and I'm not trying to blame men for, like, you know for the reason why we have. If both people had a code of conduct, it wasn't just all willy-nilly. It wasn't laissez-faire. We wasn't doing all of that. So if we're going to get back to that, men going to not be able to have all the fun they want to have either. Ain't no pumping, dumping, ain't none of that.
Let me put it this way, Topaz. Basically what you're saying is, and I say it from a man's perspective, we had accountability amongst men because men are the standard bearers of the community. And if you got 10 men, over there and they all love each other as brothers, if I'm not around, my daughter still got 9 dads. We've lost that. We've lost our way in that. And you know,
and see how that was beneficial for the men? That wasn't even about the women. Leave the women out of it. The men amongst themselves.
And Taz said something too. He said nobody holds men accountable because there's a price to pay for doing it. And I agree. But this just right here, like you got men down, other men get hurt for just trying to do we got a lot of dysfunction in our community that needs to be cleared up. And this is the thing why I went live on this, because the thing is, when I seen brothers that I respect, brothers that I make videos about this shit, burn me up because I'm a married man and I seen this shit and I said, well, goddamn, like I say this stuff like that to my wife all the time. Does that make me a simp? And what message are we sending? Like, I live in Philadelphia. We got 70 homicides already. 70 homicides. So now for young men that might want to get married or might see what Brother George is doing and want, they might say now, oh, I ain't doing what Brother George doing. That's some simp shit. That nigga loving his woman, man. Fuck these hoes, nigga. They gonna go back to doing what, man, they just macking on hoes. Because most of these dudes that's making these arguments got babies by women that they not even with. So it's just
and
like,
let's just say this. As a mental health professional, if you out here that like what you just said sounds like a person that's scared to bond with a woman because you already believe that she gonna cheat on you. You feel like you don't have what it takes to keep her in line because a man that's in control of his life ain't worried about what the chick do. He know the answer. If she act up, she gone. And I'm just move on to get like he not
so fast. Say that again. Say that again.
Oh, like a man that's in control of his life, a self-actualized man as a mental health professional, he not sitting around worrying about, oh, well, what if she cheat on me? Well, I know what the answer to that is. She gone. Like, what do you mean? What happens next? Why you don't know what happens next? So, like, I just feel like men who call women, men who love their wives, maybe, you know, how about this? What if you look at it as a man who professes his love for his wife is extremely happy and excited with his choice? He made a decision that is still beneficial to him 30, 40, 50 years down the line. He deserves to be proud of that. He is saying, I made a great choice. This woman is doing everything I need her to do. I love her. I did the right thing. Like, you just got to look at how, you know, that's how you view it. Like, I hear some men talking. I hear their viewpoint of the world. And it does sound hurt. But I don't want to go around saying who hurt you because people take it wrong. I work in mental health. So if I say who hurt you, it means, right, that I can see the pain and the damage. And let's be real. Black men and black women are damaged. I would expect nothing less. I would be worried about everything we went through as a culture if people are not damaged. We're not supposed to be okay with certain stuff. Some stuff we are supposed to have a problem because it is motivation for change.
I'll give it right back to you, Danny, real quick.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, for the people in the George Macon 2 channel, hit that link and come over to the George Macon Experience channel. I'll put y'all links. I'll give y'all wrenches when y'all come over. I only go live on both channels because I'm trying to get you Negroes to, you know how hard it is to get you niggas to come over to the George Macon Experience channel. Everybody come over. So
and you close. You was at 910 and I subbed because I didn't know you had this channel. It's not the same one because I was okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody in. So everybody that's in the George Macon 2 channel, hit that link and come over to the George Macon Experience channel. Come in, and I'll give you all wrenches. The links is there. Everybody come in. And I want to say this before I bring my sister Dana in real quick. And I think, see, this is the thing too, man, because we created a culture now, and I think it started in my era with the hyper masculine era, where black men don't know how to be affectionate no more. I remember Topaz when I was growing up, man. We had Keith Sweat. Man, we had Johnny Gill.
Oh yeah, y'all begging music.
we had Silk. We had Troop. I'm just saying my era. New Edition. We had Jodeci.
Was Blackstreet yours? Blackstreet is your era, right?
Yeah, Boys the Men, Guy. So I remember we used to be in house parties with pistols on us, and the song come on. Damn, man, hold this, man. I want to dance with that girl. You walk up to her, we went to train to dance with the girl while the homies was there. Was normal. Right. It was cool. It was cool.
I would think that men is gonna want somebody soft and smelling sweet next to them at the end of the day. Because I can tell you right now, at the end of the day, I don't want a chick next to me. I don't want a chick whispering in my ear at night. I don't want that. Like after sunset, get out of my face.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell young brothers, it was cool to be loving and nice to a woman. It was cool to hold the chick hand and talk to her. I mean, we can get on some thug shit when we with the homies, but when I'm with the girl, I get back, man. I'm going with my girl. So we had, listen, at the height of the crack era, when New York City was having over 2,000 homicides a year, we had slow music when we still knew how to love on a woman. Now all of a sudden, if you do that, you a sucker. No, y'all got the game wrong. That's why we so violent towards each other now. We have no love for each other. So when you do see a brother trying to express his love, you niggas look at that as weak, and it's not. It's not weak. You supposed to do that shit. I would never want any of you niggas to be around my daughter. You niggas are a detriment. Man, what? I wouldn't want you niggas to even look at my daughter. And this is why women think that over hyper aggressive shit is cool. No, they had the song. What's that song they had back in the day by Jodeci? Stay. Man, when that shit came on, man, shit. Man, some of the hardest dudes.
You felt that in your spirit, George. Yeah. But this is the thing. You heard what you just said. You don't want these dudes around your daughters. dudes want to go around and say, let's get back to arranged marriages because women don't know what they're doing. But guess what? How many of y'all will pick your homeboy or somebody like him to be with your daughter?
Hey, hold on real quick. Let me put this out. I'm going to bring Dana right in. Bitcoin said Ice Cube said is weak. Newsflash, Ice Cube is a fucking rapper that's been married to the same woman for damn near 30 years, that talked all that pimp shit, but was going home to that black woman. That's what he was.
Right.
Oh, for the bullshit.
And Bitcoin is trolling. He be doing the most.
Yeah, let me bring Dana in. I know. What's up, Dana?
Hi. Oh wait, let me turn this mic down.
Dana.
I was going. What's your name? Topaz?
Yeah, Topaz.
Yes, ma'am. How are you? I've seen
You're the
you
only
around,
one-
but I've never been on a panel.
You're the only one showing your face, honey. My hair is a hot mess. Not
Well,
to
if
no video.
I would put my bonnet back on, but I went on and took it off for the stream.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dana.
Hi, everybody. I like the topic because I'm surprised that people are even hating on Ciara and Russell and just that whole concept, you know. And one of the guys I wanted to comment, you had up on the screen, he said that mothers teach their sons to date women with kids or something, or they shouldn't. And
that they accept and marry women with kids.
Yeah, they make them they raise them to accept women with kids, but
he was saying that was the problem. Like they shouldn't. Like the problem in the Black community is mothers raising their sons to accept and marry women with kids. Like that should not happen.
Yeah, I totally disagree with that because even women now that meet men, they have kids. So it's not like nobody is only the women having kids because they're having kids by you, Black men, you know? So what are the odds of a woman meeting a man who don't have kids? To me is basically the same. He may have more than she, but even if he doesn't, like I have a son, he's 22 and he's not looking to have kids no time soon. But when he gets older and could afford and he meets someone and he really likes her and she has a kid, I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's not the kid. It's not the fact that she has a kid. It's the woman. You know, what does she bring? Is she bringing drama? You know, is she working? Does she have some type of career or something going for her? So it's not the fact that she has a child, is what is her life like and what is she like as a person? You know, so going back to Ciara and Russell, she had, you know, her son with Future or whatever, but people fall in love and they have kids, you know, and then you break up. That's just life. But then she really focused on herself and she said it, you know, she focused on the kind of man she wanted. And then she focused on her in order to get that kind of man. And she got Russell and he kind of like did the same or whatever. So I think they are an example. They are the new Huxtables. Like that is a reality example of today, because you're going to meet a woman 9 times out of 10, or maybe 8 times out of 10, she's going to have a child already. But what type of woman is she? You may meet a man who have children or a child. What type of man is he? You can't just run away because they have a child. And men that do that, they're just not ready for no type of responsibility at all. So, and then, but if it's your preference to want to marry someone who do not have children, that is your preference, that is your right. But don't sit up here and say that is wrong and mothers shouldn't raise their kids for this, that. Don't use that narrative, because I think that's very ignorant.
Yeah,
it sounds like he's trying to make other men do what he thinks.
Right, as if it's a bad thing. And it's like you're missing the whole, the people like that are missing the whole point. You have to look at the person and look at what qualities do they have, you know?
And I think what happens is the argument that some people are bringing us in, they're setting a bad example to say that this is okay. But I'm telling brothers, what I'm telling brothers is that argument gets flawed, because what happens is we got to do the same for men. Because if I tell women, don't become single moms, the first thing I got to do is what I always do. I talk about Black male accountability, because I talk about a lot of brothers running around willy-nilly, slinging ding-a-ling everywhere, dropping babies. So what I try to do is get these men together. So what I'm saying is, brothers, some of the arguments that you have is legitimate, but you water it down when you go after a brother like him, because you defeat
Right.
the whole argument, because y'all arguments is based on the Pookies and Ray Rays. Well, now you attacking the brother that's doing all the right shit. How?
Right.
Right.
That don't even make sense. So what happens is, to me, what I'm starting to see, Taz, a lot of these dudes is closet homosexual. You don't want women. Some of y'all are mad. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be honest. It's 2021. The cat is out the bag. Some of you dudes are mad because he don't like you. He not messing with you on the low.
Right.
Some of you dudes, I'm telling you, if you go to a strip club, you're gonna see a lot of lesbian women in there because they're around women. Whenever you get places with all male spaces and they come and they have these type of arguments, you're gonna have the down low brothers in there. And every time a brother's champion the cause for a black man, you're gonna have them brothers in there with the pom-poms, yeah. But a lot of you dudes is closet homosexuals. You don't like Sierra because he chose her. That's why you talking that way. Because you ain't got no business speaking on that. Now listen, if you talk about these girls, right, that's picking the dudes that's going to jail, killing and doing all that kind of, I make videos on that. I talk about that. I got daughters. I get it. It's legitimacy to that argument. But you can't make the argument about a brother, man, that's been raised right, doing the right shit. You can't call him a simp. You can talk about the girl that might come on and say, hey, I like thugs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we got to fix that. But y'all on both sides of the argument, it don't make sense to me. That shit sound real gay. It's suspect. That's some suspect shit. I got to call it for what it is.
And I want to say one thing real quick. To be honest with you, from hearing how Sierra acts right now, since she's got with Russell Wilson, I hope that she's teaching her daughter or daughters, because I don't know what the gender of the kids are, that what she did was with Future was wrong. Now that to me matters more. I hope she's not like telling her daughter, see, look, you can get a man. It's all right. Just go for it the first time. No. The point is, if you truly learn from what happened with Future, because to be honest with you, she shouldn't have even been anywhere near Future. Let's just put that out there.
Right. I agree.
So I hope she's telling her daughter, don't get with a Future, because look what he did. He left me and you. Well, no, that his child is a son, but he left me. And so now, you know, I have a child that doesn't get to have their bio father. That's not okay. So I hope she's correcting that in the next generation.
You know what it is, and I speak to this. A lot of us come from these dysfunctional communities where we make mistakes young and we grow. Man, if you just saw me at 21, a lot of y'all wouldn't have liked me. I was a fucking terrible dude towards women and men.
You spoke on that before, too.
Yeah, y'all wouldn't have liked me, but I'm a different.
And that's why I sub, because you changed.
Yes, because you know what happened? Life kicks you in the ass enough where life forces you to change. It forces you to make decisions. And some of us make better decisions. So listen, I wouldn't want my daughter to be nowhere near a dude like Future, but in some of her younger, more immature years, she might make that mistake. But that's not a death sentence. You want to say something, Red Pill?
Yes, sir. Because Sister Topaz just hit the nail on the head. What she just said in essence was black women holding other black women accountable, and that's what my mother did, and that's what my father did to me and my uncles and my cousins. And my father met my mother when she was a single mother, but he married her. And then he had me and my sister because he knew that his brothers and my uncles was holding him accountable. He wasn't about to just lay up, you know what I'm saying, and then do whatever and then dip off. You see what I'm saying? Because he was being held accountable. So, and that has passed down. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get that just by osmosis of being around that type of principle. So women and men, black men and women, we have to hold each other accountable. I didn't even think about the fact that Russell is a very productive and stand-up black man until George brought it to my attention. So I don't have no right to speak on what he's doing in his marriage as far as finances. I will stand on what I stand on as far as the whole single mother thing, but but he's a stand-up guy, so he's not Pookie and Ray. So I can't even put him in that category. But we got to keep holding each other accountable. That's the only way we're gonna fix this.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, damn right. If there has to be accountability in the community on both sides. My premise for the live stream was just to tell brothers, listen, man, stop disrespecting this type of man because we doing our young men a disservice. I'd rather have brothers be more loving than be volatile. I'd rather have brothers know how to speak their emotions than holding it in and letting it bust out. I want brothers to get back to just get out of this normalized dysfunction. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you, brothers that will watch this video, and some of you simps ain't gonna get it. And y'all know who the simps are, because I'm reversing this now. Some of you simps ain't gonna get it, because you really think when we start teaching young boys to learn how to express their emotions, or don't be afraid to express their emotions, we begin to change the trajectory of how we view ourselves and how we view other brothers that look like us. It's nothing wrong with being able to express your emotions. It's nothing wrong with being able to tell another brother you love him. That's not gay. I come from an era back in the day when we went to the club and we told them, listen, listen, you let me in, but if my crew can't get in, man, we ain't coming. It was brother for brother. It wasn't every man for themselves. We loved each other, man. We shared things. We did things as brothers, man. We shared everything but our women, our main girl.
Right.
We did everything but our main girl, and everybody knew, yo, that's Keisha, man. Don't touch Keisha. Niggas knew he loved Keisha. He professed that. He wasn't shy about that. I mean, you might lose your life for touching Keisha.
Real talk.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, we got to get out of this idea that is weak or simpish for a man to profess any type of love for a girl that he likes. Now, don't get me wrong. You got simp shit. Let's call out the simp shit, but don't put everything that you see as simp. Man, listen, Tupac and our rap, we've been calling out simp shit for 30 years, man. And scandalous women for 30 years. In the hood back in the day, niggas knew who the hoes was. Y'all better go listen to Whole Happy Jackie. She's so scandalous. Everywhere we go, we see the same hoes. Yeah, we've been had these songs. So what I'm saying, a lot of you niggas is late to the party. Talking about this shit about being soft. Man, we've been talking about this shit for years. We know the difference between a woman, just like we know the difference between you niggas. Some of you dudes is sterile, but some of you dudes, I wouldn't even want you on my steps, even near my daughter. Some of my homies, the dudes that I grew up with, I was cool with, man, I don't want you talking to my, man, get away from the women in my family, because nigga, let's keep it a buck. So what I'm saying is, for the young guys that's watching this, it's okay to express how you feel about certain things. Don't hold shit in or live your life through this fake ass illusion fantasy that they done created. Now everybody thinks it's cool, because that's what they've done to our women too. Our women believe that they got to show their ass or project themselves a certain way to draw energy from a man. Like we all in this fake ass social media stuff, man, and it's all fake. All this stuff is fake, and it's YouTube shit, man. That's not shrouded in reality, man. I'd rather have my son not be locked up for shooting at 13 like I was, but be more like a Russell Wilson, professing the love and being decent, having a decent family, having his finances together. I want a son like that, not like how I was.
Facts.
So anybody else want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something real quick. Like, us growing up in a community, we lack fatherhood. So because we lack fatherhood, we didn't really see the responsibilities that men is supposed to do. Like I said, I take care of mine. I didn't bring no child in for the city or state to take care of. It's my duty, because I made it, to take care of it. And like I said, I'm blessed. I'm a disabled vet. I worked for the government for 20 years, and I retired. And I got out of Philadelphia because I wanted better for my family. So I came back home to Georgia and bought me 6 acres of land. And me and my family, you know, like I said, my wife is 22 years younger than me. We both made a commitment that, like, we ain't breaking up because we got a child, you know, that we got to take care of, that we brought here, you know. So I feel like if black men had a more of a father figure in our household, we would know what to do we would know how to be a father. And Russell Wilson is doing his thing. Like y'all said, he hasn't been in trouble with the law or nothing. If he wanted, he could have 2 wives. He has enough money, you know. But with the broke mentality that we have, he doing the wrong thing. No, that man doing the wrong thing, the right thing. Big up to him. And that's all I wanted to say real quick. Thank y'all.
Well, and real quick, to me, it just seems like part of the problems that I talk about in the community is that we don't truly, as overall, as a whole, we don't value or want more Russell Wilsons. We like having Futures. Now, I'm saying I'm not included in that. I don't like having more Futures. I would rather we had more men like Russell Wilson, whether like even before he met Sierra, he was married, right? They just so happen to not have kids or whatever, but he like goes all in. If you marry the first woman and then you marry this second one,